First thing first, I just want to congratulate you for clicking onto this video because I've come across so many mompreneurs who just want to hide behind their business, who don't want to be seen, which is fine, it's doable, but they also need to accept that they are making the already difficult job of growing a business even more difficult for themselves. And that's simply out of fear. Personal branding is what helped me escape from being just another mommy blogger back in 2013 when no brand was willing to pay me over $100 per blog post to now charging $1,600 per blog post. And that's because when I had no brand, I was in the commodity business. What is a commodity business? A commodity business is like selling nails, right? You walk into a hardware shop and maybe you need a nail to hang up a painting on your wall. You find the nails that you need and you simply buy the cheapest one because they are all the same. And when you have a brand, it helps you to stand apart from the others. And when done properly, people see the value of paying you more. And that's exactly what has helped many other mom bosses break through ceilings, like Karen from Bespoke Bread, who started making and selling sourdough bread from home because she lost her job during COVID. And within 2 months of branding and positioning herself, she secured a whole year partnership with KitchenAid. And it didn't take her long after that to cross the $10,000 mark per month. In one of my previous videos, I mentioned that the best marketing strategy for your business is entirely contextual to you and your business. It is unique to you. But when it comes to personal branding, I have no doubts in saying that no matter what business you run, you will be able to see extraordinary benefits from developing a personal brand, regardless of your industry. It's really what makes you and your business human. It's what attracts customers. It's what builds trust with your customers. It's what separates you from the rest and puts you in a niche of one. Which ultimately means what? That you're so unique, there's no competition left. You're escaping your competition, not by entering the vicious cycle of undercutting each other's prices, but by being perceived as the only option for your target audience. And that's what being in the niche of one is all about. You probably don't need any more examples or explanation of just how powerful personal branding is. And I'm sure you're well aware of it already. It's the successful execution on it, and that's the challenge. And there are 3 common mistakes that I've previously made, as well as other mom bosses I see make when it comes to personal branding, regardless of whichever social media platform you're on. And the first mistake I see mompreneurs make is that they give out so much value, but don't connect this value to the market. And here's what I mean. We're constantly told that we need to give value in our content. We need to give, and then people will notice what an authority on this topic or industry you are. So many women entrepreneurs ended up giving an insane level of value. But what actually is value? Is your instructional how-to style content valuable? Well, it's really only valuable if you connect it to your market and their current state. Because you see, value itself is contextual, it's unique, right? It's the value lies in the eye of the beholder. And this exact video you're watching right now is only valuable in the context of you being someone who has an interest to build your business and cultivate a personal brand. This video would serve no value to a college student, for example, who's looking for the best studying techniques. And that's a pretty extreme example just to illustrate the point. But when you're out there thinking about creating content, you really need to keep this in mind. For example, if your business is about making and selling sourdough bread for others to buy, then sure, you could post instructional content about the step-by-step of how to make the flour and water, how to shape the dough so it has the bubbles inside, right? But is it really that valuable to your target customers who just want to buy ready-made sourdough and they don't ever going to want to make a sourdough, right? Probably not. However, content on how to properly slice the sourdough, how to store it, and the delicious meal that you can make with it is probably more in line with what your target audience who are buying ready-made sourdoughs could be interested in. So there's a slight difference. And this is exactly what I mean about making your value contextual to your audience. What most people would do is just say that, okay, our business is about sourdough, so any type of content around sourdough will do. So they go and copy content from a baker who then talk about, the depth of the mother dough and how to rise it, but they really forget about what their target audience want. And what the best personal brands do differently is that they go that level deeper in understanding what their target audience wants and create content through that lens. And of course, in order to connect value to your market, you need to have a very good understanding of your ideal customer avatar. So take time, sit down and think. What are their goals? What are they really trying to get out of your products? What are their problems and frustrations? What have they already tried, right? Ask yourself a bunch of these questions or just use our ICA worksheet inside of our Momentum Community membership. And you can sign up for our 7-day trial, and I'll leave the link below in the description. So that's the number one and biggest mistake I see with moms make around creating content is that they think it's all about sharing values down people's throat, but value itself is boring and it's actually not that valuable unless you make the connection to the state of your target audience. Another connection that you need to make with your content is a connection to yourselves. And this brings me to mistake number 2 that I see many mompreneurs make. And is that they forget that a personal brand is supposed to be personal. And this doesn't mean that, you need to share your entire life with the world. No, I don't do that and I never will. You get to choose what gets shared and what doesn't. It may look like I'm sharing my entire life, but there are parts of my life that you have not seen. Adding your personality just means that you are sharing all of your content through the lens of your story, your experience, your emotions, your unique perspective. And the good thing is we already have all of these, right? After all, if the best way to stand out in the crowd of social media is to be original, then tell me what's more original than you and your unique personality and your unique set of experiences. And these are literally the most unique and original things in the world because there's no one like you. So make the most of it and bake yourself deeply into your content. Don't just give, straight instructions, tips, and how-to guides that AI can probably do better than you right now. So the way you escape the battle against AI or your competitor is just simply by injecting your personality into your content. You can share your mistakes, your lesson learned, your plans, your routines, your opinions. And these are all examples of content formats that could add your personality. And whether you're selling B2B or B2C, and at the end of the day, everything is P2P, people to people. because people buy from people. So make your content feel human, feel authentic. And that's really the best hack to build trust with your audience. And that's why even huge companies spend massive amount of money on spokespeople, on brand ambassadors. Even at such a high level, having a face to a brand makes a difference. Now, of course, we're just trying to run a lifestyle mom business over here, not an entire big MNC corporation. And so who's the best spokesperson for your business? You, of course, us, right? If the biggest companies are using a face, a person to connect to their target customers, just imagine what building a personal brand can do to help you stand out within your niche and grow your business. Okay, so we've connected the value that we need to be sharing to our market, right? And we need to connect it to yourself now. So the last piece of the puzzle is to connect it to your offer. Because at the end of the day, we are running a business here, right? So now we need to ensure awareness, trust, and goodwill that you're building is translating into business growth. And the biggest mistake I see people make on this run is not offering further steps of value that is an easy and the logical next step in the customer's journey. You see, your content is like a gift. Just like when you walk down the street and you get free samples, right? And if someone has watched and interacted with your content, they've shown you their interest. And this may mean they may want to have a deeper level of interaction with you. Now, this doesn't mean that they're ready to buy yet. I mean, I never assumed that someone is just ready to buy from just watching my content, but they may be interested in something like accessing a free downloads or an ebook in exchange for providing their first name and email address. And that is called a lead capture, for example. And once they've read your downloads or your ebook, they may be looking for a free consultation and so on. And I guess you can see now where I'm going with this. So the key here is for you to think about how can you pave a smooth customer's experience and the obvious next steps that allows your viewers to absorb incrementally more value. For example, the next step for this video is to invite you to our Momentum community on a 7-day trial. So if you're interested in connecting with like-minded entrepreneurs as well as access a bunch of resources, one of which is the ICA worksheet that I mentioned earlier in the video, for example, then check out the link in the description. And with that said, today we've covered the 3 key pillars to building a personal brand and getting seen. So I hope that it brings you all the benefits that building a personal brand has brought to my own life and more. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again, either inside of Momentum or in our next video. You've got this, Mom Bosses.